Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Each time we gather up our notes, our research, all the bits and pieces, and try to pull out what really matters for you. And today, we're diving into something pretty special, reaching C1 level in English. I mean, if you've actually done this, it's SAW. It's huge, like scaling a linguistic ever. Truly, you've battled through the grammar, the vocabulary force, and probably the initial reasons were super clear, weren't they? Getting a better job, maybe that top tier education, connecting with family overseas, or just freedom to travel without worry. You had a goal, you worked incredibly hard, and you absolutely nailed it. Seriously, well done. But then maybe it's happened to you. Things get quiet. That external push, it kind of fades. That question starts creeping in, doesn't it? That little whisper of, okay, now what? I don't know. Those big motivators, the exams, the interviews, the promotions, they might be done, finished in the past.
Yeah.
And that rapid progress you felt maybe doesn't feel so rapid anymore. You're sort of at a crossroads, the C1 crossroads.
It is. It's such a subtle but really profound moment, isn't it? Because for so many people, C1 feels like, okay, job done, the finish line. But actually, it's often just, the end of the beginning, if that makes sense. You could just see your English as, a tool you've acquired, something to keep polished, maintain. Or, and this is where it gets really interesting, you can make what we're calling the great pivot. It's more than just like learning for fun instead of work. It's about transforming that proficiency, turning it from a purpose into a real passion, taking this amazing skill you have and making it, a life-defining mission.
Exactly. And that's what we really want to explore in this deep dive. We want to help you think about making that pivot. How do you even find a unique mission for your English? What could it look like? We see sort of three main paths emerging. And then, crucially, how do you actually weave this into your daily life? Make it practical.
Yeah.
It's about shifting from just speaking English to speaking to grow yourself, speaking to connect with others, and maybe even speaking to contribute something meaningful. Okay, so let's unpack this C1 crossroads idea a bit more, because it's really key. That journey up to C1, it's often powered by what psychologists call extrinsic motivation. Think of it like rocket fuel, right? External rewards, good grades, a new job title, maybe impressing people.
Yeah, powerful stuff.
Totally.
Yeah.
Those rockets definitely get you places. But as you might be feeling now, that fuel doesn't last forever. It eventually runs out. Once you hit the goal, that question, why keep pushing, gets really loud.
It is like hitting a different kind of wall almost. That external boost just fades away. So if those rockets burn out, what does keep someone going from C1 towards real deep mastery? Is it just gritting your teeth? Well, what we're seeing in the research really is that you need something else. A different fuel source, renewable. It's what they call intrinsic motivation.
Ah, okay. So from within.
Exactly. It comes from inside you. It's that subtle shift from feeling like I have to do this to I actually want to do this, or maybe even I can't not do this. It's like finding this hidden spring inside you, fueled by pure curiosity or genuine enjoyment, or maybe a deeper sense of purpose, even when the external pressures are gone.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's not just about learning more vocabulary or grammar.
Not just that, no. It's about the why. And what's interesting is that studies suggest this internal shift is really what separates the long-term masters from those who just plateau. They get stuck. And this is where the idea of a life mission fits in so perfectly. It's kind of the ultimate intrinsic motivator. It acts like your North Star, guiding you through the sometimes tedious, sometimes unglamorous work involved in true mastery. But it makes it rewarding on a whole different level.
A North Star. I like that. Okay, so if we need this mission, this North Star,
Yeah.
how on earth do we find it? That sounds big, maybe a bit intimidating.
It can feel that way for sure, but the sources we looked at suggest it's less about like inventing something totally new out of the blue. It's more about uncovering something that's probably already there deep down, waiting to be found. It usually lies somewhere in the overlap between three things: your unique talents, your deepest values, and what you see as the world's needs.
Right, so you need to do some digging, some reflection.
Exactly. You need to be willing to ask yourself some pretty deep questions.
Okay, let's do it. What are they? Maybe listeners want to grab a notebook or just pause and think here. Question number one, what breaks your heart?
Powerful one.
Yeah. And this isn't just, generic world problems. What genuinely upsets you? What keeps you up at night sometimes? Is it seeing, environmental damage? Social inequality, maybe the loss of cultural traditions, or even just loneliness in our super connected world?
Yeah.
Or how misinformation spreads? Your answer here, it points towards the kind of impact you might want to have, the problem you feel drawn to address.
Okay, so that's the first one. Building on that, the second question is, what makes you come alive? This taps into your passions. What topics could you talk about for hours and not get tired? What activities make you totally lose track of time?
Ah, the flow state activities.
Exactly. Is it mentoring someone, creating art, solving really complex puzzles, analyzing stories or films, debating philosophy? Think about when you feel most engaged, most energized. This answer points towards the kinds of activities that will bring you joy and keep you going. It makes the mission sustainable. Fun, even.
Got it. Heartbreak, then energy. What's the third question? Question 3. What is your unique perspective or skill?
This is crucial.
Yeah. Because as a C1 English speaker from your specific country, your background, you have a viewpoint nobody else has. Literally. You're already a natural bridge between your home culture and the huge, diverse Anglophone world. So what knowledge do you have? What stories? What skills from your life or career could the wider world really benefit from hearing in English?
This is about your unique contribution, your specific gift. And here's where it all comes together, hopefully. Your mission starts to emerge in that overlap, that synthesis. It's where what the world needs
What breaks your heart?
meets what you love to do
What makes you come alive?
and intersects with what you uniquely can offer.
Your special perspective or skill.
Exactly. And your English. That's
Yep.
the powerful engine that lets you bring all of that to life on a global stage.
Wow. Okay, that's a powerful framework. So once you start getting a sense of that why, that mission, does it tend to fall into certain categories?
It often does. We've sort of identified 3 broad paths based on our research. They're not rigid boxes. You can definitely blend them, but they provide a really helpful way to think about it. The first path we call the inward mission, the journey to self.
Okay, inward. Tell me more.
So the idea here is you consciously use English as your main tool for deep self-exploration, for psychological growth, for cultivating wisdom. It basically reframes your English learning. It's not just an external skill anymore. It becomes an internal practice, almost like a meditation or a specific kind of journaling.
How does that work in practice? Like, how does English help you look inward?
Well, a few ways. First, English gives you access to entirely new ways of thinking. Your native language has its own philosophies, psychologies, but English opens up vast libraries. Think about Stoicism, Buddhism translated into accessible English, modern psychology, neuroscience. Reading these deeply in English can literally offer you different operating systems for your mind.
That's interesting, like seeing the world through a different lens.
Exactly. And another fascinating thing, lots of bilinguals say they feel like a slightly different person in their second language.
I hear that.
So this path encourages you to actively explore that English self. Use the language as a kind of personal laboratory. What facets of your personality come out more? Plus, there's this idea of cognitive distance. Talking or writing about difficult feelings or challenges in a second language can create a little bit of mental space. That slight detachment can sometimes lead to breakthroughs, better emotional regulation.
Huh. I remember reading about a case study, Alexei, I think, an analyst from Moscow.
Ah, yes, Alexei.
Perfect example.
He was super logical, great English for work, but felt kind of numb emotionally. And his mission started almost by chance, right? He found an English podcast on modern Stoicism. And suddenly, his English time shifted. Less tech blogs, more philosophy, deep dives into academic analyses, all in English.
Right. He joined an English-speaking online Stoicism group, started journaling about his feelings, finding it easier in English than Russian. So his whole English journey became this inward quest. It actually helped him build a richer inner life. That was his mission, changing his world.
Precisely, a powerful personal mission. Okay, moving to the second path. This one looks outward. It's the interpersonal mission, the bridge between worlds.
Okay, bridging worlds. This sounds like it's for connectors.
Totally. This is for people who want to use their English skills to build genuine human connection, to break down stereotypes, foster real understanding between cultures. It's for the storytellers, the empathizers, people who believe that person-to-person chat is the antidote to a lot of global misunderstanding.
So how does that play out? What do you actually do?
Well, one key thing is championing what you might call growth conversations.
Growth conversation.
Yeah, moving beyond just how are you, where are you from, you intentionally use your English to ask deeper questions like, what does success really mean in your culture? Or tell me something people always get wrong about your country. Using English to get beneath the surface.
Ah, okay. using it for real curiosity.
Exactly. And you also become a kind of cultural ambassador. You use English not just to learn about other cultures, but also to represent your own culture with nuance and depth. You can explain the subtle jokes, the history, the things that usually get lost in translation.
So you're both learning and teaching in a way.
Absolutely. And finally, it involves practicing radical empathy, using those C1 skills for really deep listening, trying to understand the cultural context behind someone's words, their silences, even their disagreements, connecting on a human level.
I'm thinking of that example, Isabella, the creator from Salvador, Brazil.
Yes, Isabella, she fits this perfectly.
She was frustrated with the cliches about Brazil, right? Samba, football, beaches, and she wanted to show more.
Exactly. She felt the deeper culture, the spirituality, the music, the everyday life was invisible internationally.
So she used her English to start a YouTube channel, The Real Bahia. But it wasn't just a travel show.
No, not at all. It was deep immersion. She'd cook traditional food and explain its history. She interviewed a capoeira master, carefully translating his wisdom. Her English became her tool to transmit the saudade, the accent, the soul of her culture, building a global community based on real, nuanced understanding. That was her bridge-building mission.
Beautiful. Okay, so we had inward, interpersonal. What's the third path?
The third path is the impact mission, the tool for change.
Impact. Okay, this sounds practical, action-oriented.
It absolutely is. This is about using your English skills like a lever to contribute directly to a cause, a project, a community, to create tangible, positive change in the world. This path really resonates with pragmatists, activists, builders, people who see English as a powerful tool to get important work done, to make a real difference.
So what kind of work are we talking about? Give me some examples.
Sure. One big area is amplifying voices that aren't being heard. Maybe you translate for local activists so their message reaches global media or policymakers. Or you help a local NGO write a killer grant proposal in English to get international funding they desperately need.
Right, using English to unlock resources or attention.
Exactly. Another way is through global collaboration. Your English lets you join international teams working on stuff you care about. Think open source software for people with disabilities, citizen science projects, monitoring pollution, maybe cross-border investigative journalism. You can be part of that global effort.
So connecting with others to achieve a shared goal.
Precisely. And a third way is democratizing knowledge. Taking your own expertise, maybe you're an engineer, a farmer, a marketer, an artist, and sharing it through English. You could write blog posts, create tutorials, translate technical manuals, making your skills accessible to a global audience that needs them.
That reminds me of the doctor, Dr. Chika from Nigeria.
Dr. Chika, yes, a truly powerful example of the impact mission.
She saw preventable diseases, underfunded hospitals, but also amazing local solutions nobody outside Nigeria knew about.
Right. The research her colleagues were doing, the innovations, they were invisible globally because of the language barrier.
So she used her C1 English. What'd she do?
She found her mission, be the megaphone. She started translating her colleagues' research papers into really good English for international journals. Then she started her own blog, Insights from the Frontline, sharing compelling stories from her clinic, all in English.
And it worked.
It really did. Her clear, powerful writing caught the eye of a researcher at Johns Hopkins University. That led to a collaboration which brought in new funding, new resources, tangible change. Her English literally became a tool for advocacy that saved lives. That's the impact mission in action.
Wow. Inward, interpersonal, impact. 3 really distinct but powerful ways to frame a mission.
Yeah, and remember, they can overlap too. But having these paths helps clarify your why. But okay, having a mission idea is one thing. The next step, the really crucial one, is actually living it, integrating it into your daily life, your daily English practice.
Right. It can't just be an abstract concept. It needs to change what you actually do.
Exactly. It needs to become the organizing principle for your learning and really your living in English.
So how do you make that happen? Where do you start?
A great starting point is to actually craft your own mission statement.
Write it down.
Absolutely. Make it clear, concise, something you can look at every day, like your compass, reminding you of your true north.
Okay. Can you give some examples based on the paths?
Sure. For an inward mission, maybe? My mission is to use English to explore effective altruism principles, engage with the core texts, and connect with the global community to apply these in my life.
Nice. Interpersonal?
How about? My mission is to use English to create content showcasing the beauty and complexity of modern Japanese craftsmanship, connecting global admirers with local artisans.
Love that. And impact.
Maybe. My mission is to use my English skills to translate and amplify the voices of climate activists in my region, ensuring their stories reach the international stage.
Okay, so having that statement makes it concrete. Then what?
Then you design your routine around it, your mission-driven routine. Your mission now dictates your learning habits. The question isn't just how do I improve my English, it's how can my English practice serve my mission?
That flips the perspective entirely.
It really does. It transforms your whole approach.
So my input changes. What I read, what I listen to.
Dramatically. If your mission is, say, climate action, you're not just randomly scrolling news anymore.
Yeah.
You're actively seeking out IPCC reports, reading specific articles on climate solutions, maybe watching documentaries on renewable energy. Your consumption becomes super purposeful, targeted.
Okay, input changes. What about output? My speaking and writing practice?
That changes too. It becomes productive in a new way. You're not just writing a diary entry. Maybe you're drafting a letter in English to a company about their environmental policy, or writing a blog post about a local project you're involved in, or preparing a presentation for your cause. Your practice starts creating actual real-world value aligned with your mission.
And who I talk to probably changes as well.
Definitely. You stop just looking for any native speaker to practice with. You start actively seeking out people in online forums, professional networks, communities who are already working in your mission area. Your conversations become collaborations, genuine exchanges with people who share your purpose. You learn from them, contribute your perspective.
This sounds like it makes English learning much more meaningful.
Immensely. And there's one more huge benefit, perhaps the most liberating one. Having a mission completely reframes your fear of making mistakes.
Oh, how so?
Well, think about it. When you're driven by something bigger than your own ego, when the message you want to convey is the most important thing.
Then getting the grammar perfect maybe doesn't matter quite as much.
Exactly. The need to communicate your point, to contribute to your cause, it starts to outweigh the fear of saying something awkwardly or having an accent. You become willing to be vulnerable, to be imperfect, because the work itself feels too important to let self-consciousness stop you.
That feels like the final barrier for a lot of people, that fear of judgment.
It often is. And finding a mission can be the key to finally breaking through it. It shifts your focus from your performance to your purpose.
This has been quite a journey, actually, thinking about C1 not as an endpoint, but as this new beginning. That road to C1, it really was about discipline, wasn't it? Ambition, getting that powerful tool.
Hard work.
But this next stage, the journey from C1, it feels like it's more about vision, about character even. It's about finally answering that really deep question. Okay, I have this incredible tool. What is it for?
Spot on. And when you turn your English learning into a life mission, you unlock the only fuel source that's truly sustainable for this next challenging but incredibly rewarding stage of mastery, your purpose. It picks you up when you're tired, it pulls you in when you might feel bored, and it makes you brave when you feel afraid to speak up.
It's amazing when you stop and think about the power you actually hold at C1 level. You have a voice that can genuinely cross oceans, a mind that can connect with ideas and people from all over the planet. It's not just a skill that opens doors for you. It's potentially a key that unlocks doors for others too. The question is, what will you do with it?
Exactly. The world out there, it's full of wisdom waiting to be discovered in English, full of bridges that need building between people, full of worthy fights that need fighting. So look inward, look outward, find your cause, your mission. It really is waiting for you.